Norm Letnick is blasting John Horgan over his decision to call a snap election, saying he should have stuck with the preset election date. He says Horgan is simply being opportunistic because he happens to be high in the polls right now.
John Horgan is only calling this election because he's looking at polls and thinks he can win a majority government. It's that simple. It has nothing to do with the performance of Bonnie Henry or Adrian Dix or myself working collaboratively during this pandemic. It has everything to do with him thinking he has the best shot of winning a majority today rather than waiting a year from now when he's supposed to wait. He has the Green Party support. That coalition is still intact. He has the numbers in the legislature. What he should be doing is calling a false sitting of the legislature instead of sending everybody out to the polls and having a caretaker government during the worst pandemic we've seen in over 100 years.
So the time, the expense, and the attention that is drawn by an election, you're arguing, is just unnecessary right now. Look,
from the get-go, as soon as the pandemic happened, we made a very clear choice. The choice was different in other jurisdictions. The choice was, as the official opposition, to work with government, to support government during the pandemic, to fight the pandemic and not each other. Of course his ratings are going to go up during that because he's not getting a lot of opposition from me as the health critic.
Well, I saw that when I had you in for an interview last, and I was really prompting you, please say something critical. You were pulling those punches and taking a more supportive approach to how we were handling it.
Well, you know, I think Adrian Dix can come on the line right now and tell you that we don't always agree. But just because we didn't always agree behind the scenes, it doesn't mean that it was an opportunity during a pandemic to come out lashing at the government. This was the time and is the time for us to pull together as parliamentarians, as MLAs, for the best future of our citizens all across BC. And that's what we did. And now John Horgan is trying to take advantage of that by calling an early election when they really didn't have to. And on top of that, when the COVID pandemic numbers are going on the increase. So, you know, quite frankly, I will go out there along with all the other MLA candidates, because I'm a candidate now, and I will present to the people of Kelowna-Lake Country my vision that I've heard from them as to what their priorities are that they want me to work on over the next 4 years. And I hope that the people of Kelowna-Lake Country will re-elect me. With an election of this short a window, October 24th, it doesn't give any party a lot of time to be holding long nomination meetings.
It seems less democratic when it has to be thrown together like this.
Well, you're absolutely right. Again, another item that needs to fit at the feet of John Horgan. You know, he's the one that's pulling the election buzzer now. Unfortunately, if he would keep to the fixed election date. If he would have kept to the fixed election date, we would have normal Democratic nomination races. And now the leader of our party, at least, and I'm sure the other ones have to do the same, have to appoint people all around British Columbia so they can start getting out there and listening to their constituents and also communicating their vision for the future.
Election Day, October 24th. For Kelowna Now, this is Kent Mulgat reporting.